first we have to figure out what she's planning. Bugs in Bridget's dress, or something with snakes?
The Descendants franchise has entered a new era with Descendants: The Rise of Red. The newest installment takes a step away from the old stories, bringing the adventures of Mal and her fellow VKs to a close. However, new characters have stepped in to take their place, showing new sides to Auradon that have never been explored before. Red and Chloe take center stage in this new adventure, but they meet a few familiar faces along the way. With only a few cameos from the original Descendants cast, fans wonder who else may return in the future. In today's video, we'll discuss which characters would be most likely to appear in future films and why.
Yeah! We did that! That's what I'm talking about.
Number 1. Mal. As the main character of the original 3 films, Mal made Descendants into the phenomenon it is today. Few people don't love stories about redemption and self-discovery, which is what Mal brought to the table when she moved to Auradon, creating a rich narrative that earned her sympathy and support from the audience. Like Red, she lost her way and genuinely believed she was evil, destined to share the same fate as her mother, Maleficent. However, Mal's fortunate enough to break free of her mother's influence. At Auradon, she quickly wins the hearts of her fellow students, including Prince Ben. The couple becomes engaged in Descendants 3 and plans to rule Auradon together. In Descendants 2, Mal skyrocketed to notoriety and fame in the sequel, under immense pressure from those around her to conform to Auradon's expectations. Believing she can never fit into her new life without sorcery to help her, Mal flees to the Isle of the Lost, where she tries to reclaim her former control from Uma, who has stepped in to call the shots around the Isle. Mal's time on the Isle, especially with her friends and Ben coming to save her, makes her realize how much she loves her new life. After Mal reconnects with Ben and stops Uma, she becomes excessive in her desire to protect Auradon. As the future queen, it's no surprise that she regularly patrols Auradon in Descendants 3, doing everything she can to stop people like Uma and Audrey from hurting her home. All the while, she advocates for the other VKs to receive their second chance in Auradon. Now an adult and experienced ruler, Mal sets sail in Descendants 4 to forge new alliances for Auradon. However, a ruler can only stay away from their kingdom for so long, and Mal may fly back to defend Auradon in her dragon form if she learns that a new threat looms over the place and the people she loves.
Does an ogre like cheese puffs? This is amazing! It's purple.
Number 2. Ben. Becoming king of Auradon was always in Ben's future. His father was instrumental in uniting the lands of numerous fairy tales, creating a sprawling kingdom of magic, wonder, and endless possibilities. The only fault of Auradon is how it treated villains, locking them and their offspring away within the Isle, preventing them from thriving or seeking redemption. Ben recognized the wrongdoing of his predecessor and made it his dream to take down the barrier surrounding the Isle, giving villains, specifically their children, a better chance at life. Ben's goals were highly controversial, earning concern from his parents as they warned him of the many dangers allowing villains' children into Auradon could cause. Ben takes the chance anyway, bringing Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos to Auradon Prep, where he believes reformation is possible. Along the way, Mal spells him, Ben falls in love with her, gets kidnapped by pirates, and learns what life on the Isle is like. Through it all, he continues to be a voice of reason. He believes peace is possible and showcases his distinct skills as a diplomat time and again. While many may not have supported his dreams at first, Ben proves himself a wise and revolutionary king who has slowly repented for the actions of his predecessors. Within his reign, the Isle's barrier comes down, allowing villains and their corresponding fairy tales to coexist again, creating a more balanced and honest world. Like Mal, he takes off on a journey across the seas, searching for new allies and horizons. There's no doubt he'll succeed, as when Ben talks, an audience can't help listening to his heartfelt words. When he finally returns home, it may be to expand Auradon, adding more lands to their alliance.
It's so good to finally meet you all. I'm Ben.
Prince Benjamin, soon to be king.
Number 3. Harry. As one of the few recurring characters in Descendants 4, fans were excited to see how Uma would fit into her new role as Auradon Prep's principal. It was reassuring to know that she hadn't abandoned her former beliefs, insisting that every villain child deserves a second chance, so she invited Red to Auradon. She's carrying on the legacy that her friends like Mal and Carlos started, and by sharing their sentiments, she'll likely turn Auradon into a more accepting and inclusive place. She gets a head start by bringing some of her pirate crew, allowing her longtime friends to help her run the school. Fans of the series couldn't help noticing the absence of Uma's first mate and friend, Harry Hook. The pair were nearly inseparable in previous films, with their relationship receiving more emphasis in Descendants 3 as they worried greatly about one another's safety while helping save Auradon from Audrey. Uma and Harry have a relationship where nothing can keep them separated for long, something they may have inherited from their family members. Hook and Uliana are shown as close friends when Red and Chloe travel to the past. As Uma has some of her crew with her at Auradon, it's more than likely that Harry is elsewhere. Some speculate that he's part of Mal and Ben's crew, traveling with them to new lands in search of alliances. His involvement in their adventure would make sense as he's likely the best sailor the royal couple knows, aside from Uma herself. Harry may have had a hard time turning down giving the King and Queen of Auradon a favor, but he'll likely return when they do, taking his place at Uma's side.
What? Summer school? Summer school? No wonder she wanted revenge.
Number 4. Chad. Descendants fans were excited to hear that the franchise received fresh faces with new characters taking center stage to tell more compelling stories. While it's sad to see the old cast go, many of their stories were concluded at the end of the third film, allowing them to explore the world beyond Auradon Prep. However, some former cast members have a stronger connection to the new films than others. For example, Chad Charming should appear in future installments due to his connection with his family. Chad's the older brother of the franchise's new character, Chloe. She is integral in Descendants 4 alongside her mother, Cinderella. While his mother and sister are on a time-traveling adventure, he's filling his time at college. Chad is mentioned by his father, who forgoes visiting Auradon in favor of visiting Chad. The pair could appear briefly in Descendants 5, dropping in on Chloe to see how well she's settling into dorm life. Chad could even give his sister a few pointers about living at Auradon.
Come on, whose side are you on? The only one worse than her is her mom.
Look, hon, back in high school, a mean prank was played.
Number 5. Dizzy. Although most children attending Auradon Prep are teenagers, Mal allows younger villain children to stay near the school, taking people like Dizzy, Celia, and the Smee twins from the Isle of the Lost in Descendants 3. However, bringing Dizzy to Auradon seemed the obvious choice, as she has a history with Mal and Evie. The former is Dizzy's idol, someone she looks up to and admires greatly, with their relationship likely influencing their decision to take Dizzy away from the Isle. Now that a few years have passed, Dizzy is old enough to attend Auradon Prep in Descendants 4 and beyond. If her character returns, she could be a classmate to Red and Chloe. Dizzy's character also has personal connections to the Cinderella story, as she is the granddaughter of Lady Tremaine, Ella's evil stepmother whom Chloe and Red get to meet in the past. While Ella likely claims no connection to her stepfamily, Dizzy and Chloe could reconcile, becoming friends and forging a cousin-like dynamic despite their family's history.
His Royal Majesty King Ben of Auradon and his counselor Miss Evie of the Owl hereby request the pleasure of your company, Dizzy Tremaine.
Number 6. Hades. Descendants made a massive change when Mal and Ben allowed the Isle's barrier to fall. They released every villain from captivity, allowing them to live among other fairy tale creatures. One of the villains to earn his freedom is Hades, the god featured in Disney's Hercules. In the third film, he reconciles with Mal and earns her trust. He allows her to use his power to defeat Audrey, stepping up to become the father he failed to be in her youth. If the father and daughter maintained a positive relationship in the passing years, then Hades may have become a trusted confidant for Auradon. Now that Red and Chloe have interfered with the flow of time, they may require God's help to restore balance to their world.
I used to be a god! I had an entire world which bore my name.
It's bittersweet for Descendants fans to acknowledge some of their favorite characters may have ended their stories with Descendants 3. Many characters from the previous films may have had more to offer had they received a role in Descendants 4, with some maintaining their roles as kings, queens, reputable pirates, and charming princes. If any of them can return to the series to offer aid during Red and Chloe's hour of need, then Descendants fans will be happy to see their return, if only briefly.
Up front, it's just me, my folks, and my girlfriend.
And your girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
They're fresh from the oven with a big old glass of milk, and she just makes you laugh and puts everything into perspective. And